Hello and welcome back to the Courtroom Advocate channel. My name is Miriam Washira. A while back, I received a call from a friend. So she told me where she's living. She has observed that there's a young girl who is being used as a house help. And her question is, how can she help the child? Where does she report? And that got me thinking that there are so many people who have seen child abuse, but they do not know how to report or where to report. So this video, we are going to look into the process of reporting child abuse, or what you can do to help a child who you think or observe that they're being abused. So one of the things, if a child, so there are different ways you can tell. There's where you observe and maybe you're not talking to the child, and there's where the child actually comes and tells you. And especially teachers, are the first responders to most of these abuse. Kids come and tell them, I'm being abused. In one way, the child might not say I'm being abused. They could say, so and so touched me, so and so is doing what to me, and you realize it's a child, it's an abuse. So how do you report it, and what do you do? So for starters, first believe the child. Never show any doubt. If a child approaches you and they say they are being abused, please believe them. Believe the child, and don't show them like you're doubting, because the very minute you show them they're doubting, they're not going to tell you the story. And most of the times what happens is that now the story keeps changing, and it's changing because they're thinking you're not believing them, so they might even end up adding details that were not there for you to believe them. So believe them, the story they give you. Do not add to the story. If they said it was pink, don't say start telling them it was green, because at that very moment you have confused them. And if that matter ends up in court, the child says pink and green, and somebody might say, the defense will go, they're lying. So, but most of the cases are lost because we end up confusing the child when we start doubting them, and they start also exaggerating the stories. So the first thing, believe them, don't doubt them. Tell them you believe them, and you're listening to them. You can only repeat back to them what they have told you. Do not, add details. Do not correct their story, because by then you confuse it altogether. The other thing you need to do is stay calm. You need to think straight and do not raise unnecessary alarm. This is important because if you're not calm, the child will also be traumatized. If, for instance, I've seen mothers who their child has come and said, so and so has, touched me indecently, and the mother screams and shouts, and all of a sudden people come. You can imagine, now it becomes trauma for the girl. And by the time, sometimes we were called for rescues, and by the time you're going to the rescue, there's just a whole multitude of people. That child, you're adding to the trauma. So it is so important that you remain calm. You only raise the necessary alarm. Don't call people, don't get everybody coming. Some I've seen, they will call their relatives, come here, what he's saying, Ebu say it again. And by the time the child is getting any useful help, she has told that story to like 20 people. And in the process, what is happening? She's getting traumatized, and she's changing her story. So don't call unnecessary alarm. Don't get everybody involved, unnecessary people involved. Only involve the people who must be involved. The other thing to remember is that the safety, and your safety and that of the victim, are paramount. So do not start reporting a case before you ensure that you and the victim are safe. So for instance, if a kid reports their father or somebody in the household is abusing them, do not confront the perpetrator before you think about your safety and that of the child. So most people are harmed when they start confronting perpetrators without thinking about their safety. You might need first to even move out of that house. If you realize a child is being abused, maybe by a father, an uncle, in the same household, think your safety first, you as a reporter, and also the safety of the victim, of the child. So make arrangements before you go reporting, or you even go, calling alarm and so on. Think what next, and when I say that, I know that is also one of the reason why most abuses in households are not reported. You know, when a mother says, but the father is a breadwinner, how can we report? You know, what will we eat tomorrow? Where will we live? And so forth. That should not be a hindrance, but at the same time, as I said, safety should come first. The thing you're supposed to do is to liaise with a trusted person in authority. So if it's your chief, if it's a children's officer, if it's the police, you know, don't take the matters into your hand. Don't take the law into your hands. Liaise with a trusted authority who can help you deal with the matter. The other thing is seek medical attention if necessary as soon as possible. So some of these abuse, you know, there are diseases, there could be infections, and so on. But also for the collection of evidence, you need to report the matter to the police as early as possible. But just not the police. Seek medical attention as early as possible so that any evidence that needs to be picked can be picked. So some cases they will come and say, yeah, it's been a year since this happened. It still can be prosecuted, but I can tell you the chances of getting a conviction are very low. So as early as possible, take them to the hospital, have the evidence collected. There are many ways of reporting to the police. You could report the matter anonymously, or you could go by yourself, or you could tell the police you actually do not want to be exposed. And there are provisions for that. I know there are still a bit of insensitive police officers who do not you know, keep your privacy, but now we have gender desks that they are supposed to know how to handle such matters when they come. So those are being established for the safety of victims. So you could ask, even when you go to the police station, is there a gender desk? Is there somebody who handles children's matters in this station? Did I talk to them? So it could be, if you want to report anonymously, that is a good way to do it. The other thing I've seen with most of the first responders or those reporting is refusing to give a statement. If you refuse to give a statement and say, oh, I don't want to be involved in the matter, you're not doing justice, you know, to that victim, because your evidence or your statement is very necessary, you being the first person who noticed it. So you should feel free, and you are encouraged to also give your statement at the police station. The other thing you need to do is to report without fear. Do not be fearful of reporting child abuse, and that's why we're saying get a trusted person to report the matter to. You could also, there's other ways of reporting anonymously. There's 116 number where you can call and report any child abuse, and you remain anonymous. You just need to give good details, you know, proper details. Don't just say there's a neighbor abusing a child and you drop the call. That is not helpful, because they might not be able to trace where you live. So you could say, give them details, the necessary details, so that they're able to trace that child and rescue that child. Also look out for safety nets, you know, groups that can actually help you. If you feel that you reporting the matter could put you in danger, look out for organizations or groups that can help you to report the matters. So for instance, there is Nyumba Kumi. If you have a chairman of Nyumba Kumi, or you have a Nyumba Kumi organization or group, you can seek for their support as you report the matter, as the matter goes on. Look out for NGOs, you know, women groups, organization that could help you, or, you know, just NGOs that are looking out for children and victims. You can report through them, you know, and go and say, this is happening, I don't want to be known, I don't want to be in the limelight, but could you look into this? Could you rescue this child? And there are so many of them that are doing that right now, and you can help. There's also, now we have the Witness Protection Authority that seeks to protect witnesses, and especially, I know, when it's a matter of family matters and you are reporting a family members, I know most people get backlash, you know, from the whole family, nobody's supporting you. Maybe in that instance, you can seek support and protection from the Witness Protection Authority. So those are some of the people who can help you or areas you can report, including the police. You can also take the child to the hospital, and the hospital is actually obligated, if it's an abuse case, for them to report the matter to the police. So you might not be the one reporting, but the hospital will report the matter to the police. So those are the people to help you. The other most important, also very important, that could help you is a children officer in your area. It's very important you know where they're located, or any contacts you have with them, because they will come in handy when it comes to reporting and protecting children. I hope this video is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.